Before you ever spend another Jefferson nickel, you need to hear this. Because some of the nickels sitting in American pockets, jars, and old dresser drawers right now are turning out to be shockingly valuable. And today, we're diving into the rarest Jefferson nickels that most people walk past every single day without knowing the truth. If you love U.S. coins, if you're searching for real value, and if you want to know which nickels could secretly be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, then don't go anywhere. This video is packed with discoveries that can genuinely change the way you look at your change forever. So make sure you watch this entire video, because the most valuable coins are often the ones people overlook. And before we get started, hit that subscribe button, tap like, and share this video with other collectors across America. Your support helps this channel bring you more hidden treasure finds. So let's jump right into these valuable Jefferson nickels. Coin number 1. Have you ever held a coin in your hand and wondered if it could be worth more than a house payment, a car, or even yearly savings? Imagine discovering a coin so rare that collectors would pay any price for this. Today, we're uncovering one of the hidden treasures of American numismatics, the 1940 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark. On the surface, it looks like an ordinary nickel, but in reality, it's a piece of history, a potential investment, and a treasure that could transform the life of the collector lucky enough to hold it. At first glance, the Jefferson nickel may seem ordinary. Introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, it features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, on the reverse. The design quickly became iconic, representing American history, leadership, and craftsmanship. But among all Jefferson nickels minted in 1940, the no mint mark version stands apart. Coins from this year without a mint mark were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and surviving examples in high-grade condition are incredibly rare. What seems like an everyday coin in circulation could, in fact, be a highly coveted collector's gem. So, what makes this coin so special? To understand, we need to look at history. In 1940, America was on the edge of a global conflict. Europe was engulfed in World War II, and the United States was preparing for uncertain times. Metals like nickel were in increasing demand for industrial and military use, which affected the production and circulation of coins. Many coins were heavily circulated, damaged, or melted down, making pristine examples from this era exceedingly scarce. The 1940 Jefferson nickel, no mint mark, is a coin that survived decades of circulation, hidden away by someone who might not have realized the treasure they were holding. Collectors aren't just looking at rarity, they're looking at condition, strike quality, and eye appeal. Every tiny detail of the coin matters. On the obverse, Jefferson's profile must be sharp and clear. The lettering around the edge must be precise. On the reverse, Monticello's architecture must be crisp and the surfaces smooth and lustrous. Even the slightest imperfection can drastically impact a coin's value. That's why top-grade examples are not only rare, they're legendary. Now, imagine holding one of these coins in your hand. You can feel the weight of history. The nickel may have passed through countless pockets, cash registers, and hands over the decades. Each scratch, each mark tells a story. Perhaps it was part of someone's pocket change during the early 1940s, traveling through diners, theaters, and stores, all the while becoming rarer and more significant with every passing year. For serious collectors, knowing the history and context of this coin adds layers to its value. The 1940 Jefferson nickel no mint mark is more than metal. It's a story of an America on the brink of major change, a country transitioning into a wartime economy, and a society where even a small nickel could hold significance. Collectors see this coin not just as currency, but as a tangible connection to a pivotal moment in history. Authenticity is critical when dealing with coins of this caliber. Experts examine every aspect: the spacing of the letters, the depth and shape of Monticello Jefferson's hair details, and the luster of the coin. Any deviation can indicate a counterfeit. So collectors are careful, meticulous, and often consult professionals to ensure they are obtaining a genuine piece of history. Now, if you're wondering how a nickel could ever be worth tens of thousands of dollars, you're not alone. Many people underestimate the value of rare coins simply because they see them as small change. But the reality is very different. Collectors are not buying a coin, they're buying rarity, history, and potential investment value. And the 1940 Jefferson nickel no mint mark combines all three in one small, seemingly ordinary piece of metal. Let's dive deeper into the survival story. Most nickels from 1940 were circulated heavily, and very few remained untouched. Those that did survive often did so in the hands of careful collectors or hidden away in private stashes. Coins that were tucked into collections, hidden in drawers, or saved as keepsakes are the ones that eventually ended up in top-grade condition. Every single detail matters. The sharper the strike, the more original the luster, the fewer the imperfections, the higher the value. Collectors also consider the broader Jefferson nickel series. The 1940 no mint mark coin is part of a larger story of the Jefferson nickel series, which saw design changes, wartime compositions, and minting anomalies. Understanding the coin's place within this series can increase appreciation and help identify truly valuable specimens. This coin is not only a rare find on its own, it's a key piece in the broader puzzle of Jefferson nickel history. Now, here's a point that often surprises new collectors. Scarcity alone does not define value. A coin must also capture the imagination of collectors. The 1940 Jefferson nickel no mint mark does exactly that. Its rarity, combined with the story of its survival through one of the most tumultuous periods in history, makes it one of the most desirable Jefferson nickels ever produced. So, how do collectors verify authenticity and condition? It involves careful inspection, under magnification, comparing known high-grade examples, and sometimes even sending coins to professional grading services. Every detail matters, from the smoothness of the fields to the sharpness of the lettering. Even the tiniest scratch or hairline mark can influence the value significantly. That's why professional guidance is so important for anyone serious about collecting or investing in coins of this caliber. Here's where the suspense peaks. Many people are shocked when they learn the real market value. The 1940 Jefferson nickel no mint mark is not just historically significant, it's financially significant as well. The highest recorded auction price for this coin is an astonishing $39,000. This figure proves that even a seemingly ordinary nickel can command monumental value when rarity, condition, and historical significance align. Owning a 1940 Jefferson nickel no mint mark means holding a piece of American history that very few people in the world will ever experience firsthand. It's not just a collectible, it's a legacy, an investment, and a tangible link to the past. For collectors, it's a coin that sparks curiosity, tells a story, and has the potential to continue appreciating in value over time. This coin is more than currency. It's a conversation starter, a conversation piece, and a testament to the enduring allure of rare American coins. For anyone who loves history, numismatics, or smart investments, the 1940 Jefferson nickel no mint mark is a treasure that combines all three. And now, after knowing its proven auction price, it's clear why serious collectors seek it out, protect it, and cherish it as one of the most valuable Jefferson nickels ever produced. So, the next time you come across a 1940 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, take a moment to appreciate what's in your hand. You're not just holding a coin, you're holding history, scarcity, and incredible value all at once. And that's the story behind one of the most remarkable nickels ever struck in American history. Coin number 2. Have you ever stopped to think that a simple coin sitting in your pocket could be worth tens of thousands of dollars? It may sound unbelievable, but some coins are so rare, so historically significant, and so beautifully preserved that they can completely change the life of the person who owns them. Today, we're going to explore one of the most coveted coins in American numismatics, the 1964 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark. On the surface, it looks like an ordinary nickel, but the story behind it is extraordinary. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American coinage since 1938, featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his iconic home, Monticello, on the reverse. The design quickly became a symbol of American craftsmanship and history, yet not every Jefferson nickel holds the same value. The 1964 D mintmark version is particularly special. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin has subtle characteristics that make it stand out from the millions minted that year. While many circulated coins from 1964 are common, surviving examples in pristine, high-grade condition are incredibly rare, and that rarity is what makes this nickel highly coveted among collectors. To truly appreciate the significance of this coin, we need to look at the historical backdrop of 1964. America was undergoing major social and economic changes. The country was entering a period of cultural transformation marked by shifts in politics, civil rights, and industry. Coin production was high, but many coins saw heavy circulation, were damaged or lost entirely. This makes the survival of a near-perfect 1964 D Jefferson nickel a remarkable occurrence. Each coin that survived represents not only luck, but also a journey through decades of American history. Collectors don't just chase rarity, they chase condition, detail, and authenticity. Every aspect of a Jefferson nickel matters. On the obverse, the sharpness of Jefferson's profile is critical. His facial features, hair detail, and the lettering around the edge must all be precise. On the reverse, Monticello must appear clear, well-defined, and sharply struck. The smoothness of the coin's fields and the luster remaining on the surface are essential indicators of its grade. Even the smallest imperfection can drastically reduce its value, which is why coins in top condition are considered near mythical. Now, imagine holding this coin in your hand. It's not just metal, it's a time capsule. Perhaps it passed through countless pockets, registers, and hands in 1964, traveling across diners, stores, and cities. Each scratch, each gleam of luster tells a story that spans decades and connects you directly to the past. This coin has survived not just circulation, but the shifting tides of American history, making it more than a collectible, it's a relic. One of the most fascinating aspects of this coin is how it appeals to collectors on a psychological level. People are drawn to objects that tell a story that have survived the test of time, and that are rare. The 1964 D Jefferson nickel embodies all of these qualities. Its rarity is amplified by its historical significance, creating a sense of excitement, urgency, and admiration among collectors. Owning one is a statement. It signals knowledge, discernment, and a connection to history that few others have. Authenticity is critical when it comes to coins of this caliber. Experts scrutinize everything. The spacing of letters, the depth and shape of Monticello, Jefferson's hair, the sharpness of the strike, and even the luster on the coin's surface. Small deviations can indicate a counterfeit. Serious collectors often rely on professional verification to confirm the coin's legitimacy, ensuring that they are investing in both historical and financial value. The 1964 D Jefferson nickel is also fascinating from an investment perspective. Unlike ordinary coins that depreciate over time, rare coins like this one can appreciate significantly, particularly as collector interest grows and competition for high-grade examples increases. Each coin is a combination of history, artistry, and rarity, a perfect storm for long-term value. So, how do collectors determine whether a coin is worth pursuing? It involves careful examination and comparison to verified high-grade specimens. Collectors study Jefferson's facial features, the sharpness of Monticello, and even subtle marks or toning patterns. The coin's appeal is measured not just by its physical state, but also by its historical context and scarcity. Coins like the 1964 D Jefferson nickel are judged holistically, and those that meet every criterion are treated as treasures. Now, for many, the most intriguing question is obvious. What is this coin actually worth? While nickels may seem insignificant in face value, the reality is astonishing. The highest recorded auction price for a 1964 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark is an incredible $40,000. This number is not just an exaggeration, it is a verified, documented auction record. It proves that even a coin that looks ordinary at first glance can carry extraordinary historical and financial significance when rarity, condition, and collector demand align perfectly. Owning a 1964 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark isn't just about money. It's about holding a piece of American history. It's about owning a coin that tells a story, captures a moment in time, and connects you to generations of Americans who passed this nickel from hand to hand. For collectors, it is a symbol of knowledge, diligence, and a tangible connection to history. Coins like this are more than collectibles. They are windows into the past. Every detail, from Jefferson's profile to Monticello's architecture, has survived decades of human hands, economic change, and shifting culture. Collectors value these coins not just for their rarity, but for the story they tell, survival, careful preservation, and the enduring appeal of American craftsmanship. So, the next time you encounter a 1964 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark, take a closer look. You're not just seeing a coin, you're seeing history, rarity, and incredible value all in one small object. With its proven auction price of $40,000, this coin is a reminder that sometimes even the most unassuming objects can hide extraordinary treasures. Owning this coin means holding a piece of history, a collectible that bridges past and present, and an investment that reflects rarity, craftsmanship, and enduring significance. It is a coin that sparks curiosity, captures imagination, and proves that the most valuable treasures are often hiding in plain sight. Coin number 3. What if this ordinary-looking nickel could unlock one of the rarest treasures in American coin collecting? At first glance, it seems just like any other Jefferson nickel, but in reality, the 1976 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark is one of the most sought-after coins for collectors today. Beneath its familiar design lies history, rarity, and a value that few people would ever expect. Today, we'll explore everything that makes this coin extraordinary, its story, its features, its survival, and its significance in the world of rare coins. The Jefferson nickel has been part of American coinage since 1938, featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his historic home, Monticello, on the reverse. By 1976, it had become more than currency. It symbolized American craftsmanship, history, and tradition. The D mint mark version, struck at the Denver Mint, is particularly remarkable. While millions were produced that year, only a small fraction have survived in pristine condition, making this coin extremely valuable to collectors who recognize its rarity. To understand the true significance of this coin, we need to look at the historical context of 1976. It was the bicentennial year, a moment of national pride and celebration. People were commemorating 200 years of independence, and collectors were more attentive than ever to preserving coins as keepsakes. Though the Denver Mint struck millions of nickels, most circulated heavily, suffered damage, or were lost entirely. Those few that survived in top condition are now considered treasures. Collectors don't just seek rarity, they seek condition, craftsmanship, and authenticity. Every detail matters. On the obverse, Jefferson's profile should be sharp, symmetrical, and detailed, with crisp lettering. On the reverse, Monticello's architectural details should be well-defined and the surfaces smooth and lustrous. Even small imperfections can drastically affect value. That's why high-grade examples are so highly prized. They represent perfection preserved across decades. Holding this coin in your hand is like holding a time capsule. Perhaps it traveled through countless hands in 1976, witnessing the bicentennial celebrations, crossing towns and cities, yet survived nearly untouched. Each detail, from Jefferson's facial features to Monticello's lines, tells a story of survival, care, and history. The 1976 D. Jefferson nickel is more than currency. It's a piece of American legacy. The psychological allure of this coin is just as powerful as its rarity. Collectors are drawn to coins that survive decades, that carry history, and that are rare. Owning the 1976 D. Jefferson nickel signals knowledge, expertise, and a connection to history few others can claim. The thrill comes not just from possessing the coin, but from understanding its story, scarcity, and journey through time. Authenticity is key. Serious collectors examine Jefferson's facial profile, the precision of Monticello, the spacing of the lettering, the sharpness of the strike, and the coin's remaining luster. Even Minor inconsistencies can indicate a counterfeit, which is why professional verification is often sought. Owning this coin guarantees both historical significance and financial value. The investment potential of this nickel is impressive. Unlike common coins that lose value, rare Jefferson Nickels like the 1976 D mint mark appreciate over time, especially in top grades. As collector interest grows and competition for high-quality examples intensifies, their value continues to rise. This coin is not just a collectible, it's a tangible investment combining rarity, artistry, and historical importance. Collectors meticulously evaluate coins like this. Every feature matters: Jefferson's profile, hair details, Monticello's architecture, edge sharpness, toning, luster, and strike quality. These subtle details differentiate a standard circulated coin from one that can command top dollar prices at auction. Imagine the journey of this coin. Struck at the Denver Mint during the bicentennial celebrations, it may have been used briefly, preserved as a keepsake, or carefully collected. Decades later, it surfaces in the hands of a modern collector, still exhibiting traces of its original luster. Its survival adds immeasurable intangible value to an already rare coin. Now, the moment everyone wants to know: the highest recorded auction price for 1976 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark is an incredible $25,000. This figure is verified and professional, proving that even a coin that looks ordinary can carry extraordinary value when it meets the perfect combination of rarity, condition, and historical significance. Owning a 1976 D Jefferson nickel is more than financial, it's about holding a piece of history. It connects you to a pivotal moment in American heritage, embodies artistry and rarity, and represents the knowledge and care of generations of collectors. Coins like this are windows into history. Every detail, from Jefferson's sculpted profile to Monticello's architecture, has endured decades of circulation and societal change. Collectors prize these coins not just for their monetary value, but for the stories, survival, and legacy each coin preserves. So, next time you come across a 1976 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark, look closely. You're not just seeing a coin, you're seeing history, rarity, and proven value. With its verified auction price of $25,000, this nickel demonstrates that even the most ordinary-looking coins can hide extraordinary treasures. Owning this coin means holding a legacy, bridging past and present, and possessing a collectible that combines historical significance, rarity, and enduring value. It sparks curiosity, captivates collectors, and proves that sometimes the most remarkable treasures are hiding in plain sight. Coin number 4. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that looks ordinary at first glance, yet carries a secret value few people ever uncover. That is the fascinating reality of the 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark. At first, it might seem like any other nickel you've handled countless times, but for collectors, this coin is a rare gem. Its scarcity, historical significance, and pristine condition make it a treasure, commanding attention and admiration from numismatists worldwide. Today, we'll explore why this coin is so valuable, its unique features, its journey over the decades, and what makes it one of the most sought-after Jefferson nickels in history. The Jefferson nickel has been a cornerstone of American coinage since 1938, featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his historic home, Monticello, on the reverse. By 1979, it was far more than currency. It was a symbol of American artistry, history, and craftsmanship. The no-mint mark version of this nickel is particularly special. Coins without a mint mark were produced under specific circumstances, and surviving examples in high-grade condition are exceedingly rare. This combination of scarcity and preservation elevates the 1979 no-mint mark nickel to a coveted collectible for serious coin enthusiasts. Understanding its significance requires a look at the historical context of 1979. The United States was undergoing a period of change, from economic shifts to cultural transitions. Millions of nickels were minted, yet very few remained untouched over the decades. Most coins circulated heavily or suffered damage, making high-grade, no-mint-mark examples incredibly scarce. The few that survived in near-perfect condition are considered true treasures, representing not only monetary value, but also a tangible piece of history. Collectors seek more than rarity, they value condition and authenticity. Every aspect of the coin is scrutinized. On the obverse, Jefferson's profile must remain sharp, with finely detailed facial features and hair, precise lettering, and well-defined contours. On the reverse, Monticello's architectural elements must be crisp, with smooth surfaces and original luster intact. Even the smallest imperfection can reduce the coin's value dramatically. High-grade examples are coveted because they are perfectly preserved snapshots of history, giving collectors a connection to the past that few coins can provide. Holding this coin is like holding a time capsule. It may have passed through numerous hands, traveled across states, and witnessed the ordinary transactions of everyday life, yet it survived with remarkable clarity. Every gleam, every line, every subtle mark tells a story of preservation and endurance. The 1979 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel is more than currency. It is a bridge to a specific moment in American history, encapsulating artistry, rarity, and survival. The psychological appeal of this coin cannot be overstated. Collectors are drawn to coins that have survived decades, are scarce, and have historical significance. Owning a 1979 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel demonstrates discernment, knowledge, and a direct connection to a piece of American heritage. The excitement is not merely in possession, but in the understanding of its rarity, its condition, and the journey it has taken to reach the present day. Authenticity is paramount. Serious collectors meticulously examine Jefferson's profile, the precision of Monticello's architectural details, the lettering, strike quality, and luster. Minor irregularities may signal a counterfeit, which is why professional verification is often employed. Verified high-grade coins ensure both historical authenticity and financial security, giving collectors confidence in the value of their acquisition. The investment potential of this coin is significant. Unlike ordinary coins that depreciate, rare Jefferson Nickels, particularly no-mint mark examples from 1979, have steadily appreciated over time. As competition among collectors increases and high-grade examples become more sought after, their market value continues to climb. This coin is not just a collector's item, it is a tangible long-term investment that combines historical significance, scarcity, and artistry. Collectors evaluate these coins with exceptional attention to detail. Every aspect counts. Jefferson's profile, facial features, Monticello's architecture, edge sharpness, toning, luster, and strike precision. These subtle differences separate an ordinary circulated coin from a highly valuable numismatic treasure. Consider the journey of this coin. Struck in 1979, it may have been used lightly in circulation, carefully preserved by an early collector, or tucked away for decades. Despite its age, it survived handling, environmental wear, and the passing of time, emerging today as a rare and highly sought-after collectible. Its survival adds immeasurable intangible value, complementing its scarcity and historical importance. Now, the highlight collectors eagerly anticipate. The highest recorded auction price for a 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark is an astonishing $21,000. This verified figure demonstrates that even coins that appear ordinary at first glance can hold extraordinary value when the perfect combination of rarity, condition, and history aligns. Owning a 1979 no mint mark Jefferson nickel is about more than money. It is about holding a piece of history. It connects you to a specific moment in time, represents craftsmanship and preservation, and embodies the expertise and foresight of generations of collectors who recognized its importance. Coins like this are more than currency, they are windows into the past. Every detail, from Jefferson's sculpted profile to Monticello's architectural features, carries stories of survival, legacy, and heritage. Collectors prize these coins for both their monetary value and the historical narratives they preserve. So, the next time you encounter a 1979 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, examine it carefully. You're not just seeing a coin, you're witnessing history, rarity, and proven value. With its verified auction price of $21,000, this nickel proves that even the most unassuming coins can hide extraordinary treasures. Owning this coin means holding a legacy, a collectible bridging past and present, combining historical significance, rarity, and enduring value. It sparks curiosity, captivates collectors, and demonstrates that sometimes the most remarkable treasures are hidden in plain sight. Coin number 5. What if I told you that a single nickel minted in 1963 could be worth more than most people make in a month or even a year? At first glance, the 1963 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark might appear ordinary. It's small, metal, and something you might have seen in your pocket change countless times. But for serious collectors, this coin is far from ordinary. It represents a unique combination of historical significance, rarity, craftsmanship, and preservation. Today, we're diving deep into why this nickel is so valuable, its remarkable journey over the decades, and what features make it a centerpiece for collectors worldwide. The Jefferson nickel has been part of American coinage since 1938, featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his historic home, Monticello, on the reverse. By 1963, the nickel was not just currency, it was a symbol of American history and pride in craftsmanship. The D mint mark indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint, which produced millions of coins that year. Yet, only a fraction survived in high-grade condition, making this coin a coveted treasure for collectors. To truly understand its value, consider the historical context of 1963. This was a year of pivotal changes in America, from cultural movements to economic shifts. Coins from this period were designed for daily use, and most were heavily circulated, resulting in wear, scratches, and even damage. A 1963 D Jefferson nickel surviving in near-pristine condition is exceptionally rare. It's not just currency, it's a preserved piece of history that tells the story of a specific time in America. Collectors prize rarity, condition, and authenticity above all. On the obverse, Jefferson's profile should remain crisp with defined facial features, carefully rendered hair, and sharp lettering. The reverse features Monticello, whose architectural elements, the roof, windows, and columns, are meticulously examined. Original luster, smooth surfaces, and minimal marks are highly prized. High-grade examples are essentially frozen moments in history, perfectly preserved for decades. Holding this coin is like holding a time capsule. Think about the countless hands it passed through, the decades it survived, and the historical events it witnessed, all while maintaining its original features. Each glint of luster, every subtle line, and even minor imperfections tells a story of survival. The 1963 D Jefferson nickel is more than currency. It is a direct connection to the past, a tangible representation of history. The psychological appeal is equally compelling. Collectors are drawn to coins that are scarce, historically significant, and in exceptional condition. Owning a 1963 D Jefferson nickel demonstrates knowledge, expertise, and a tangible link to American heritage. The excitement lies not just in holding it, but in understanding its journey, rarity, and the meticulous care required to preserve it over decades. Authenticity is paramount. Serious collectors examine every aspect: Jefferson's facial profile, Monticello's architectural precision, strike quality, toning, luster, and edge sharpness. Even the smallest inconsistency can indicate a counterfeit, which is why professional verification is essential. Verified high-grade coins provide confidence, ensuring both historical and financial credibility. Investment potential is another key factor. Unlike common coins, rare Jefferson nickels, especially the 1963 D mint mark, have consistently appreciated over time. As collector demand grows and competition for high-grade examples intensifies, the value continues to rise. This nickel is not just a collectible, it is a long-term tangible asset that combines scarcity, historical significance, and artistry. Every detail matters to collectors. Jefferson's profile, the contours of his face, the hair, Monticello's fine architectural lines, edge sharpness, toning, luster, and strike quality, all contribute to determining its value. These subtle distinctions separate an ordinary circulated coin from a highly coveted collector's treasure. Consider the journey of this coin. Struck at the Denver Mint in 1963, it may have briefly circulated, been collected early, or preserved carefully over the decades. Despite the passage of time, handling, and environmental factors, it survived remarkably intact. Its survival adds immeasurable intangible value, complementing its rarity and historical significance. Now, the verified market insight. The highest recorded auction price for a 1963 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark is an astounding $30,000. This professional verified figure demonstrates that even a coin that appears ordinary at first glance can hold extraordinary value when condition, rarity, and history converge perfectly. Owning this coin is more than an investment. It's about possessing a piece of American history. It represents a pivotal era, reflects meticulous craftsmanship and preservation, and embodies the foresight of generations of collectors who recognized its importance. Coins like this are not simply currency, they are windows into history. Every detail, from Jefferson's sculpted profile to Monticello's intricate lines, carries stories of survival, legacy, and historical importance. Collectors prize these coins for their monetary value, and even more so for the historical connection they provide. This 1963 D. Jefferson nickel is a testament to what careful preservation, rarity, and historical significance can achieve. A coin that has survived decades to emerge as a highly coveted collector's item and a proven investment. Thank you for watching this deep dive into some of the most valuable and rare coins you could ever find. If you enjoyed discovering the history, rarity, and hidden treasures behind these coins, make sure you check out my previous video on Wheat Pennies, where we uncover some of the most sought-after pennies in American history. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you never miss a video about rare and valuable coins, and hit that like button to show your support. Share this video with friends or fellow collectors who would love to learn about these incredible coins, and leave a comment below telling me which coin surprised you the most or which coin you're hoping to add to your collection. Every coin has a story, and here on this channel we bring those stories to life. So make sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video with even more rare and valuable treasures.